Back on the Young Turks election coverage, I have two things to report. One, it's panic time. Two, I'm on my third cup of coffee. Now shit gets real. Okay, so here we go. Hillary Clinton's lead in Ohio down to 1, 49-48, 26% reporting. Hillary Clinton's lead in North Carolina down to 1, 49-48 with 22% plus early voting in. New Hampshire is an immovable object. 52-43 for the last 18 hours straight. For God's sake, New Hampshire, count the goddamn votes already. It's only 13% reporting, but she's got a 9-point lead there. Virginia, 5-point lead, 73% reporting. That's for Donald Trump. Florida, Donald Trump, 1-point lead, 74% plus early voting in. That is a hell of a lot of votes in, but let's hope that Johnny Pie's analysis is correct, that the ones that are not in yet, well, it's a fact. Some of the ones that are not in yet are Broward, Dade.
Broward hasn't moved.
The problem when you start talking about the counties that aren't in yet is that you tend to look at only the counties that you like.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that's specifically what I'm doing.
Yes. That said, in big city, where there are big cities, where there's dramatic states with dramatic differences that are bifurcated, Jack. Florida in South, not the only place, but Florida, one of the strongholds for Democrats is Southeast Florida, Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade counties. There's a ton of votes in Broward, not in, and it's not like and many of the rural counties that went for Trump, they've already been counted. In Virginia, where I'm stunned by the lead that Trump has, but he's up 128,000 votes. With 73% in, but she's got 100,000 votes coming in Fairfax County. They're coming.
What did I tell you? I said Fairfax County. I said it, and it was out there. I said Fairfax County.
You said it. There's no question, Jack. You said it. And a bunch, some votes in, looks to me like about 12,000 votes in Loudoun County. But she's up 56,000 votes in Fairfax County with slightly under half of the precincts. Now, we don't fully know that those precincts are going to double the number. That's, if they did double it, that's, by the way, no, so she doesn't have 100,000 votes. She's got 60,000 votes there. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm now worried about Virginia.
Yeah, I'd be worried about Virginia.
No, it's official.
It was an 80% chance.
Yeah.
It's official. We're worried about Virginia. And if she loses Florida, then, she needs Virginia. Okay, that's not an insignificant okay? So look, a lot of this is fun and games until you lose the country. So if this is all a lot of drama, but at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton pulls it out, either pulls out Florida, pulls out Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Okay, boy, that was a roller coaster, right? That was fun, right? If at the end of the day she doesn't pull it out, Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, the most powerful man on earth for 4 years. That's
immediately indicted and put in jail.
Okay, well, from your mouth to God's ears, but I don't think that's how it's going to work. There will be indictments, and somebody might get could you imagine he arrests Hillary Clinton within 6 months of his presidency, taking the office, and puts her in jail?
It'd be kind of funny.
And no, it would not. I know. No, it would not. Okay, so anyway, right now, North Carolina down to 1 point. Ohio gone, lead's gone, 48-48, tied in Ohio with 28% reporting. Look, again, context here. Almost every scenario that we've got, Donald Trump wins Ohio. So if he wins Ohio, it is not unexpected and is not at all necessary for Hillary Clinton's win. If she won Ohio, this thing's gone anyway. She wins easy.
I feel the same way about Florida. It's basically the same.
Yeah, but if she loses Ohio and Florida, well, then she better win Virginia. And right now, she's not winning Virginia.
66-48, we've lost Mississippi.
Mississippi's called. Mississippi's called. We have lost Mississippi. Mississippi, we have a problem. You're gone.
You have a problem
Boy,
with
I tell you,
Capitol.
you look at Georgia and Hillary Clinton, 23% reporting, and Trump up 328,000 votes, 63-35. They haven't called it yet. Because they clearly haven't counted a vote in Atlanta, but it just tells you how many votes are coming in Atlanta. I don't harbor a second of belief that he's going to come back and win that, but nonetheless.
Okay, guys, I'm now super, super nervous. We've now passed 9 o'clock Eastern, and nothing's been called, okay? Nothing of import has been called, nothing but red states and blue states so far.
That's right.
That is not at all surprising.
Another call.
Oh, here we go. a call.
New York, Clinton.
Donald Trump has lost his home state.
lost his home
He
state.
lost his home state. How can he possibly win? Okay, kidding for like 15 seconds stretches now because I can't bear anything more. Up and down the middle of the country, all red. Have we called all those out yet?
Oh my
no,
God,
we
he
haven't.
built a wall.
Okay,
So let me give
he
you-
built a wall. North Dakota, gone. South Dakota, gone. Nebraska, gone. Kansas, gone. All called for Donald Trump. I don't have my glasses in.
There are
Wyoming.
15 people
No,
in that stretch.
So
Wyoming gone.
I don't see New York called yet, but Illinois. has been
Illinois
called.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton has won 2 out of her 3 home states.
So they have. There we go. There's New York. New York just got put on the. New York just got put on the board there. But for example, like here at the calculation. Wow, it just dropped 5%. So
Okay,
the
by the way-
calculation. Hold on,
yeah,
this is
go
serious. So the calculation that the New York Times has had as a running prediction of winning the presidency. Last time I glanced at it, John, I don't know if you've been looking at that win presidency meter below the states,
No,
below
I
the
haven't.
map. Well, it was at
Oh, yes.
it was at 80% an hour ago for Clinton.
What is it now?
68%.
Okay, God damn it, I'm nervous. Okay, you should be nervous. This is not kidding around anymore. I'm not kidding. Okay, so
and-
hold. Ohio gone. So it's not gone, but it's now Donald Trump's taking the lead. 28% reporting. It's still 48-48, but Donald Trump now leading in Ohio.
By 1,200 votes.
Okay, yeah, but it's trending towards Trump.
That's true.
Okay, Virginia, God damn it, it's 77% reporting, still a 5-point lead for Trump. Florida, 76 plus early voting reporting, 49-48, holding steady for Trump by 1 point. I feel better about Florida than I do about Virginia because Virginia now 5 points is a big lead with 77% reporting. Obviously, 1% is as small a lead as you can have in Florida, and we got good places coming up. And historically, Democrats do better as the count goes in Florida, as John made a great point about the number of votes that Barack Obama picked up the day after the election.
I'm willing to say this just so that the Trump supporters can mock me afterward, but it looks like unless inside of these counties there's huge variation in neighborhoods, perhaps. I mean, in Palm Beach, if the second half of Palm Beach is the same as the first half of Palm Beach, she will almost catch up based on that. Not quite. And Broward,
Yeah, should take the lead.
unless this doesn't include the fact that maybe Broward early voted at 70%.
That's
or
right.
something.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. Which is we just don't know. We're
All right, Pennsylvania, not nearly enough in, just 5% in.
the lead in North Carolina has essentially completely evaporated.
It's gone.
It's tied. She's ahead by 6,000 votes.
28%. Look, I'll break down my code for you, okay? Gone means the lead is gone. Gone means the state is gone. So Ohio, gone. 49-47, Trump now leading. He's got a 2-point lead with 30% reporting.
You know what?
Texas,
And so that is-
Texas is gone.
Texas is gone. Okay.
about Texas.
So any talk of like, hey, turning purple, blah, 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 bullshit, gone. 9 p.m. Poll closings
by 4.
that just happened about 5 minutes ago. Arizona, Colorado, we need you. Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota. Michigan is enormous. Nebraska, New Mexico, important. New York, already called. North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, Wisconsin, Wyoming, all those called except Wisconsin. So Wisconsin's still important, should be a Hillary Clinton win, but it is not absolutely clear yet. If you pull that map back up that we showed you earlier with that big red, wall, it is. It's right in the middle of the country. And it really, as you look at the map, with blue all over the Northeast, red all over the South, and then red in the middle. Obviously, the West is going to come in blue with California, Oregon, and Washington. We live in 2 different worlds. And so if you live in the middle of Oklahoma or South Dakota, you don't know what the hell is going on out here in LA. And you think people who are for Hillary Clinton must be nuts. And us folks that live on
people
the
here think
coast. Yeah, I mean, we look at the Trump guys and put them in a basket of deplorables. And so right now the country is goddamn split, man. It really is. By the way, the lead down in New Hampshire, finally it has moved. Not in a good direction. 50-45, down 5-point lead for Hillary Clinton with 14% reporting in New Hampshire. North Carolina, gone. Donald Trump has officially taken the lead. 30% reporting, 49-49, but Trump with the lead.
What is wrong with this country?
Well, here's an interesting stat that they found out in exit polling today already. National exit poll found that the turnout's going to be about the same as it was in 2012, but here's interesting. Percentage of white voting down slightly. So less whites are going to be voting this year than they were in 2012. And there was a record level of turnout among college-educated voters driven by college-educated white women, a key demographic for Clinton, said. This is from ABC.
Yeah, the exit poll numbers looked good, but, you know, I don't, they've disappointed before. But yes, I read those same things. I also read that turnout, and based on some of the states, like where we can see the turnout's going to be higher, that we had, I think, I wrote it down. Where do I have this here for the turnout? 127 million people basically voted in 2012. That was down 3.3% from 2008. And they thought maybe this year, I just read 140,000. So that would be, you know, nearly about a 10% increase. But that was, I don't know, the exit polling may have disproven that.
Hey, guys.
A fourth of all voters made up their minds in the past month.
Okay, I don't want to alarm you too much, but seats in the upright position, okay? This Virginia numbers, they don't look good, man. They just don't look good. So, by the way, Ohio, the lead grows for Trump, 50-47 now, 3-point lead, 31% reporting. Virginia, 78% reporting, and it's 50-45, still a 5-point lead for Trump. I keep emphasizing Virginia.
Yeah, that's supposed to be an easy win.
I don't have it in my 6 states. I don't have it in my 6 toss-up states that decide the election. She had a comfortable lead in Virginia.
Yeah, but they weren't even really campaigning hard in Virginia. I will say that, Cenk, though you have it at 50-45, it's 4.1 points. It's 49.5 to 45.4. She's reduced the lead to 109,000 votes. So, you know, she was 168,000. It's whittling down, but that's a fair amount of votes to go get.
If she loses Virginia, look, I'd have to do the math on it again, and we'll do it here in a sec, but I think she has to win Florida. If she wins Colorado and Nevada and New Hampshire, I don't think it's enough.
Without Virginia.
Without Virginia.
I think that's right.
So here it is. Let me chase. Virginia's 13 points. I had her, even if she flipped Nevada for 6,
258 and the
It's
New
not enough.
Hampshire 262. No,
It's not enough.
Colorado. Well, no. What about Colorado?
No, Colorado. I have her winning Colorado.
I see. Yeah,
Okay, it's not even close to enough. No, if she loses Virginia, she's got to win Florida.
Or North Carolina. I mean, or something
Yeah,
else.
or North Carolina. But now North Carolina, yeah, same place. 32% plus early voting in. Trump with a slight lead. It's tied 49-49, but he's got the slight edge there.
13,000 votes.
That's not to even speak of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, because those numbers are not really indicative of anything.
4.1 percentage lead in Virginia has been reduced to 3.8%. That's down to 103,000. So they've begun. Yeah. Counting has begun.
Oh, okay. Thanks God. Virginia down to a 3-point lead, not just a 4-point lead, a 3-point lead for Trump now with 80% reporting.
But the great thing is that I give Cenk the exact number and then you round it the wrong way. Like, so I'm like, I just said 3.8. And you're like, it's 3. I'm like, well, actually, no, it's
You have the
it's
more
3.8.
exact numbers.
Yes.
You have the more exact numbers, but I see 3 points here. And
That makes you feel better.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
All right.
3 sounds a lot better than 3.8. 3.8 sounds like crap. I'm back to panicking. And by the way, like I'm in a bad zone, not a good zone where the baskets seems like it's gigantic, right?
You're in a glass box of emotion.
Sometimes I could barely hear you guys because in my head it's like, she's losing Virginia, needs Florida, right? And God damn it, if we need Florida, are you shitting me? And Florida is razor thin again with 85% plus early voting in. And he's leading them by a little bit now. Are you shitting me? That's where we are right now. So, okay, all those dreams of a landslide, it theoretically could still happen. She could pull out Florida, Virginia, and North Carolina. But right now, ain't no landslide.
So here's the upshots forecast, running forecast, right? The New York Times is what Nate Silver left behind, right? And they had it as a 85. They ended, I think, at 84% for Clinton to win. They have it at the president, based on everything we've seen, still 68% Clinton. But that ain't 84%.
No.
That's 68%. The Senate, which we had all hoped to flip, is they have it at, they were all less bullish on the Senate than others. But 77% that the Senate stays in the hands of Republicans. And the House at greater than 95%. You know, some of it.
It's Donald Trump.
All right, guys. Look, I'm going to update you on two quick things. And so I would read your tweets if we're in better times. I'll get to that later. But so live stream concurrent viewers, we've reached way past the record, past this record of when we had Bernie Sanders on. We've got, and over the course of the day, this number is going to be much, much larger. When you take in the videos we put up on YouTube and Facebook later, it gets into the tens of millions, right? But for right now, a live stream on the internet is a very hard thing to get to a significant number. We're at over 87,000 now.
Yeah.
So we're at almost 100,000. Keep on sharing. And North Carolina, what's happened? 49. He's taking the lead. I know. And thank you, members, for making this coverage possible and for being with us throughout. tytnetwork.com/join.
So I got a little bit of good news for you.
Okay. Oh, thank God. I need the good news.
So whereas you still see it as 3, but in Virginia it's actually moved from 3.8 to 2.7. So a 4.
That's a
So
big
round
move.
that down to
Big
1.
move.
So let's just call it. Let's call it 4.
No,
Yeah,
seriously.
So it's
Seriously,
down to.
and
So let me hard
Oh,
numbers.
shit.
You remember the hard numbers were saying it's down to 77,000 votes now in Virginia.
Okay, and
No.
but the percentage reporting has not moved very much. It's 82%. That's good news.
Yeah.
So if she had closed to within 2.4, but we're at 98% reporting, you're screwed. At only 82% reporting, and she's closed the lead significantly. Finally, good news out of Virginia.
And bad news out of Colorado. Super early. Well, not super early. 18% in, and Trump with a 3,000 vote lead. They're basically tied in Colorado.
And also, so
New
Florida has updated a little bit. So Broward's still at 16%. Almost everything else is above 90%. Like, that's pretty much all that's left.
They're incompetent down there. They are
Get
incompetent.
your shit
in-
together,
yeah.
Florida.
Okay.
What's Palm Beach?
They're like trying to get to the ballot box as a crock.
Yeah, Palm
in a way.
Beach is, they're counting up Palm Beach, and his lead, actually, her percentage lead is evaporated a little bit. I mean, there's still some left in Dade, but not too many votes left there. But Broward, as John said, Broward is about half, John, right?
So let me
Yeah,
give you
a little
more context.
slightly less than half. And if it were to repeat itself, that's 260,000 votes.
For Broward, I'm seeing 16% reporting. What are you saying?
I'm seeing 278 of 577 precincts.
Interesting.
So that is
Half,
half.
but that would still be
That's not good news.
no, but it's 262,000 votes.
Oh,
It's
to
a
jump
lot
up,
of
yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, more bad news. Ohio, now he has built a 6-point lead, 37% reporting, 51-45. North Carolina, he's now taking a 1% lead with 36% plus early voting in.
Wow.
New Hampshire, 16% reporting, and the lead is down for Hillary Clinton down to 3 points. Okay, yeah, I don't see a fucking landslide here. I don't see it at all, okay? What I see is a really, really tight race. So he was supposed to win Ohio, and he's sprinting out in front of her, okay? There was a little bit of jockeying for position in the beginning, and just always a caveat. They vote at the same time. We just get the results in at different times, okay? So it's not like there's more votes coming in as we speak.
Momentum is not a real
Right.
thing here.
Yeah, there's no such thing
We
as
only
momentum
feel it.
here. Right. But what is real is the more percentage vote is in, the more solid that result becomes, the more likely that result becomes. So as he's sprinting out ahead in Ohio, well, he was supposed to do that. Okay, fine. But she was supposed to be sprinting out ahead in Virginia, and she is not. She's behind in Virginia. Okay, they were supposed to be relatively tied in Florida, and they're relatively tied in Florida, okay? Again, 88% plus early voting in Florida. So a lot of votes have been counted in Florida, a lot. And so if Ohio had been called for Trump right now, and Virginia had been called for Hillary Clinton, and we had the same kind of tied situation in Florida, I'm not sweating it. And then I go, okay, good, she won Virginia. That means she'll win Pennsylvania, and she doesn't need Florida. But she's not winning Virginia. So it doesn't mean she's not going to. She might. I don't even know what's likely at this point. I mean, Ben, okay, you got a call?
We just no. I got to. Well, yeah, but nonsense ones.
Okay, but
So
all right.
keep talking. I'm just putting it up. Just,
No, yeah. So here, I want to go to Virginia in a second, but no, go ahead. Make these calls.
No, we're at 129, 197. The Times has it at 130, but we don't have any specificity on that Omaha district in Nebraska. So right now we're only giving them the 4 electoral votes in Nebraska. Arkansas also going to Trump. Nothing, so far no upset has been called yet. So when you see 129 or 130 to 97, nothing unusual has happened at all.
Yeah.
What is unusual is that this incredibly close race in Florida, Trump solidly leads by 1.5 points, and 89% reporting. So we've had a tremendous number of votes counted, and he's up 148,000 votes, 4.4 million to 4.3 million and change on both of them. And of course, Virginia, we were hoping for this close, and we're still kind of waiting for it, although it's certainly closed some, but it's still 78,000 votes with 83% reporting, and we're obviously hoping that they're all in Fairfax County and they'll all go to Clinton. But she was up 6-7 points. I think what was the prediction for the New York Times for the 538 in Virginia? John, do you remember?
In Virginia?
Yeah.
The odds were 80% that she would take Virginia.
So, and again, now
You're not 80% anymore.
I mentioned the upshot.
80.3,
I mentioned the upshots running forecast of the likelihood that Clinton would win the presidency, and they'd had it at 84%. And remember, it was at 68%, like what, 20 minutes ago? 61%.
Dropping.
61% her vote total that they thought she'd win the
up in
popular vote
Michigan.
by 4 points. Then it dropped 3.8. Now it's fluctuating right around 3%. Now it's down to 60% likelihood that Clinton wins the presidency.
Okay, so I'm bad with technology. Oh, thanks God. Okay, my internet went down just now, and so I was about to lose my mind. Okay, so luckily your internet has not gone down. By the way, if anything does happen to the stream, because we're now really at record numbers here, you go immediately to our at the Young Turks on Twitter to get updates on what's going to happen next with the stream. So far, no problems, thank God. If there are any, at the Young Turks on Twitter, and you'll get messages on what's going to happen.
New Hampshire has been totally tied up, 100% tied
Oh,
up. 64,
Jesus Christ.
200 votes for Clinton.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
it's still early.
No, this is bad. This is okay.
been
Mark
saying that for
Thompson's
months and
here. Mark Thompson's here.
I had no
Look,
idea
I take a solo shot. You got a solo shot of Mark. Hey, there it is. Hey, Mark.
Hi, guy. But what happened to the big gender gap that we were hearing?
So it means
The most misogynist, objectionable, loathsome thing comes out of this guy's mouth, and yet women.
I'll have to tell my dad.
You know, how does that happen, Cenk?
Okay, I never believed in the gender gap. Let me be clear about what that means.
All right,
was
Donald
Hillary
Trump won
Clinton winning
Texas.
about
Whoever
women
told me
with
Texas was
women?
going blue.
So this is where I think that the press is biased, and so it drives me crazy. So
5 minutes?
Huffington Post would report day in, day out, she's winning big with women, and I'd always
said
think,
5 minutes.
yeah, how about men, right?
Okay.
So there's 2 fucking genders in the country. I got it. You want to celebrate and make it seem like Hillary Clinton's got a giant lead. And Huffington Post, what happened to your fucking 98.4% chance that she's going to win? Does it look like 98.4% chance? I
There you
told
go.
you were full of shit. Okay, so, and then what I would report to you guys is, yes, she has a big lead. Mark's right among women. You know what his lead was? I'm going to forget the exact number, but among white males.
No. That's fine. Let it be organic.
Shoot, I totally
Uneducated,
forget.
or
Uneducated,
college educated.
meaning like no college education white males. He had something like a monstrous 44-point lead. How come I didn't see that in the headlines of Huffington Post and the rest of the press? Because the rest of the press thinks Hillary's going to win. Hillary's going to win. Hillary's our friend. She's going to win, right? Okay.
That number's not right. I mean, you may have seen it in one poll, but it certainly wasn't true.
It showed
in
it
the
was
polls
like
at the
a-
end. I read what his lead was among white men without a college education, and he led it. But so did Mitt Romney by about the same number.
Yeah. All right. Look, let me give you some numbers here. Then we're going to go to New York. New York, we've got a live protest going on in Hillary Clinton headquarters. To give you a sense of how bad it is right now, these poll numbers, not poll numbers, actual results of the election. I told you that. Okay. Okay. So they might actually have to move this protest to Trump headquarters because he might win. Okay, can we go to New York now? Okay, we're going.
We're
to
ready.
New York right now.
Okay, give me 5 or whatever. 5 right now.
So I got my posse behind me. So basically, I am in the scenic corner of 41st and 11th. The bus depot is behind me. Javits Center, where Hillary and the rest of the status quo people, they are 5 blocks from me, and we don't know yet if she's going to win or lose. But I've been talking to folks out here about what's really important, which is the toxicity of money in politics and how it's creating a domino effect from there, whether it's economic injustice, environmental injustice, every injustice you could think of. And the people here, the main thing we're talking about is whether it's Hillary Clinton, whether it's Donald Trump. The bottom line is, how do you hold these people accountable? How do you keep people woke? You know, Bernie woke people up. Jill Stein has woken people up. How do you keep people woke? Is it nonviolent protests? Is it things like Wolfpack? Is it things, social media? And the bottom line is, the people here, they're not in the mood for a honeymoon for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. They are here to... Okay, Jill Not Hill. So they are here to fight. You know, not like Game of Thrones style, but you get the point. So we got a lot of Wolfpack people here. We got Wolfpack people here. We got no to the Dakota Access Pipeline, TYT viewers. I mean, I just posted this at like 10 a.m. today, and it's like 60 deep. So I want to get to Wolfpack specifically. We got Ryan Clayton, who runs it on the ground. He's all over the country more than I, and he's going to tell you what's going on and what the next steps are if it's President Clinton or President Trump.
Thanks, appreciate it, man. So, hey, I just want to say, isn't it exciting to be broadcast live on the world's largest news show? Hell yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Do not heal. It's the quote of the night. So here's what I want to say right now is we don't know who's going to win this election, right? We don't know whether it's going to be Trump or Clinton in the White House. And I'll tell you what, it's terrifying to me that Trump is within a hair's breadth. He might win North Carolina. He might win Ohio. Literally, we're watching like the first overt fascist president in our country. And what I want to say to everybody out there is that this is literally the first line of resistance. We didn't wait for day one. We didn't even wait for inauguration. We waited for hour one. We got our asses down here. And we started saying, you know what? No matter who's president, whether it's a fascist dictator or it's Hillary Clinton who's going to be pressured into doing the right thing every step of the way. Like we are going to be doing our job as citizens protesting. We're going to demand the number one priority is fair elections. Next time, we're going to get free and fair elections in this country. Elections should be free of the corrupting influence of excessive spending by outside interests, and fair enough that anybody can run for office, not just millionaires and billionaires and lobbyists and people who take money from foreign governments and spend it illegitimately in our elections. We're going to fix this problem. Clinton said she's going to do it in the first 30 days. Hillary Clinton said she's going to do it in the first 30 days. Do you believe her? Well, who's going to make her do it then? That's right. We are. You are. We got to get there from day one. We're here from hour one. Where are you? If you're in New York City, get down here. We're at 47th and 11th right now. 41st and 11th. We're going to march on the Javits Center if we need to. We're going to march down to the Hilton where Trump is if we need to. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get what we demand. Free and fair elections. Never again will we have a money-drenched, corruption-just-soaked election in this country. We're going to fix this problem once and for all. We're going to do it with Wolfpack. We're going to do it with Americans Take Action. And we're going to do it with TYT. Hell yeah. Thanks for being here.
And I want to get one person in here. Come here. Hell yeah! Look at this guy. Okay. Hold up. Sorry. So, bottom line.
Sorry, guys.
This guy's joining us, a freedom fighter. Now, real quick, I just want to get to the point here. I talked to a lot of people here.
And get ready to walk. You might have to walk 2 miles to Trump headquarters if he wins. So, good news, bad news. Let me start with the good news.
Are they gone?
The lead in Virginia is down to 2 for Trump. 86% reporting. Okay.
61,000 votes. I'm trying to find those votes.
Who are you, sir?
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
And the rich,
Okay.
rich.
Oh, by the
So
way,
here's what
Richie
Ben
Rich?
means by
Another
finding the
Rich.
votes. Okay, this is
You
really,
voting
really
for Hillary
important.
Clinton?
So
And
there are
yes,
really
sure.
blue parts of
Voting
Virginia,
for
really
Hillary?
red parts of Virginia. It depends on which parts are reporting, okay? And so what Ben is trying to do is he's looking at the county by county level and saying, is there enough room for Hillary Clinton to close that 2-point lead in the blue parts of Virginia? So this, look, I got to say it, I think that we're, at the Young Turks, on nights like this, on election nights, we're pretty damn good at this. So a lot of the other stations, they keep their data guys behind the scenes. You never see them, and they never tell you any of the mechanics of how it works. And we tell you, we say, hey, look, here's the number of votes that are left in blue counties. Here's the number of votes left in red counties. And Ben is great at tracking it. John is really good at it. And so when he says, I'm having trouble finding the votes in Virginia, well, that's not good news. It's not over, but that's not good news. Okay, so for example, in Florida, we don't have as much trouble. He still has a 1-point lead, now 92% plus early voting in Florida, but there are the votes in Broward County to flip that. Although bad news. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the percentage reporting has been creeping up. It's now at 63%, but very few extra votes have come in.
For Hillary Clinton.
So there are
That's
parts
cool.
of Broward County that,
Yeah.
doesn't mean every precinct in Broward County doesn't have the same number of people voting. That's obvious.
Yeah.
What I mean is, I can find these votes in Virginia. Like in Fairfax County, she leads 161,000 to 79,000. She's up by 82,000 votes with 156 to 244 precincts in. That's about 2/3. If the numbers came in the same way, and they could come in more, but that's a lead of 82,000 votes with 2/3 in. You take a third of that, that's like 30,000 votes. That's not enough. She's down 61,000 votes. City of Richmond is encouraging because the city of Richmond always comes in late. It's a little over half and 32,000 votes. So that's like another 25,000 votes probably for her there. And then it's basically tied. And then you're picking and choosing little bits here and there. But what is clear is that Virginia is going to go probably a half point either direction. Somebody's going to win by less than 1 point in Virginia.
Guys, hold on 1 second. I got to give one more thing here. It is fucking panic time. New Hampshire has flipped. He's now leading 48-47. So he's leading in Florida, Virginia, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and Ohio is now an 8-point lead for Trump.
They're going to call
with
Ohio.
with 42% reporting. So Ohio is gone and soon to be gone. Okay, so we're not freaked out by Ohio, but you should be freaked out by Virginia and New Hampshire being this bad.
And like little things, Wisconsin and Michigan, they're still
Hampshire might
early,
just flip back.
but he's winning in both Wisconsin and Michigan. And all of this is consistent, which is a point that I try to make often, which is these things don't happen in a vacuum. Like if Trump made up 6 points in Virginia, he probably made up points in Wisconsin and Michigan and New Hampshire and all these other places.
Mark, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say the fact that we're sweating Virginia is
Yeah.
in itself
Terrible.
a flashing red light tonight.
That's
I
right.
mean, we're worried about things that you wouldn't normally think we'd be worrying about. And Ben, on the count, those suburban areas of Virginia, there are more votes there than in the entire state of Virginia, I think. I mean,
That's where the most. There's no question. That's where the most votes are. But we've counted a bunch of them. So they're already counted. So she's got to find
36,000.
61,000 votes, and there aren't 61,000 votes in Fairfax, and there aren't 61,000 votes in Richmond. And there's some votes in Loudoun County. You put them together, you might get to 61,000.
But now it's becoming improbable.
Right, because also he's got some counties. He's going to pick up some votes in the places that he's
Yeah, it's
already
not
had.
just, there's no reason to believe at this point that it's only her counties left in Virginia. Before there was reason to believe that. Now there is not as much reason to believe that. And by the way, there's two ticking time bombs here. One is this lead in these states. The other is percentage reporting. So every time I see one more percentage reporting in Florida and Virginia, and he's still holding his lead, tick, 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 you're running out of votes to count. So now Virginia's up to 87% reporting. He's still got over a 2-point lead. And in Florida, 92% reporting. He's still got the lead. Okay, New Hampshire still just 20% reporting. North Carolina, 49% reporting plus early voting. He's got a 1 point lead.
Here's what just happened, and this thing was at 80% 2 hours ago when we were talking the upshot in the New York Times forecast of who's likely to win. Donald Trump, now the favorite to win the presidency, 51%.
Jesus.
Some chance that
Somebody just tweeted about that, yeah.
goes back and forth between Clinton and Trump at around in the 270s for popular vote. It could obviously switch again. But that's how dramatic this is. That also sets up a possibility that I didn't think was possible because the forecasters said it was likely impossible, which was that Trump could win the presidency and Clinton could win the popular vote. No, that was always possible. Sorry, that Trump could win the presidency and Clinton win the popular vote because they still have Clinton a likely 2-point winner in the popular vote because they're thinking she'll run up big margins. This model has her winning. Trump now at 53% forecast to be the president of the United States. It increases literally with every moment that a state like Virginia gets closer to being called for Trump. Wow.
This is the most haunting thing I have ever had. We've ever had on the Young Turks. 14 years we've been on the air, and we thought John Kerry was going to win in 2004. Me being wrong in 2004 about John Kerry stung me for so long, and not to get overexcited about your own side and to take all the bullshit that your own side puts out. That's the same bullshit that the Republicans believed about Mitt Romney winning. Okay, but this is Trump. We are fucking talking about a madman, incompetent buffoon being the most powerful man on earth. He now has a better than 50% chance.
And when you look at all of these extremely important states and you see that Florida is still within 2 points, that Virginia is within 1 point, 1.4, 1.3, do you think the Comey bullshit was worth 1.3%? I think it was worth 1.3%. That absolutely nothing story. They had absolutely nothing, and the media went crazy for it. Maybe Trump wins because of that bullshit.
And so the guys who talked about rigging how the system was rigged, ironically, as reported by The Guardian, they said FBI, it wasn't Guardian saying it, it was an FBI agent that talked to The Guardian and said, and they talked to many agents, it wasn't just one person. And that one particular guy with the quote said, FBI is Trump land. So a bunch of Trump supporters, the FBI put out a bullshit story 11 days before the election. They withdraw the story 2 days before the election, but the damage is done, especially in early voting. People voted thinking that the investigation was going to get restarted. So now, but by the way, all of that is crying over spilled milk. If he wins, he wins. And so none of it, you can't do a redo, and you can cry about injustice all day long. And the Republicans would cry about injustice, and maybe they would get something done because they move things, because they're strong. The Democrats, they'll fucking bow their head in a second, and we'll be done with it. And Trump will be the leader. So it's not over, guys, because she can win Florida. I've always had a little bit of hope about Florida, but now she's got to win Florida. Look, again, the lead in Virginia is down to 1.4.
1.3.
1.3 with 88% reporting.
30, no, that's Florida. I was looking at the
Okay, so, but North Carolina now looking worse every minute. He's now built up over a 2-point lead. Remember, she had the lead in the beginning.
41,000 votes in Virginia need to be found.
Broward's now at 75% too. I don't think
So that is not good news, okay? 2% lead in North Carolina, 51% plus early voting in. And so, look, some people think that, hey, Cenk likes to be proven right or something. No, when I say I hope to God I'm wrong, I really, really, really mean it, right? So there's no joy here. I'm serious, man, like my fucking heart is constricting. So, and I don't like to say that because then the right wing gets so happy about it, like, oh yeah, ha ha ha. And God knows what the fuck's gonna happen with Trump as president and what kind of damage that they could do, right? But I came in today with all the new polls leading in Hillary Clinton's direction, thinking, oh, thank God I was wrong. Well, by the way, I could still be wrong. I thought Hillary Clinton would win by a tiny margin. I didn't think she was going to lose. And here we are. So the rage in the fucking country is real. When are they going to get it through their fucking heads? But they won't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. No. All my friends in Washington think she's going to win. Now, look, I'm being a dick because to be fair, polling was indicating she was going to win. I thought she was going to win this morning, right? So the polling is relevant, but this phenomenon that we talked about on the show, which is there's polling and then there are unlikely voters that are not in the polling, right? And some of those, by the way, all of this is super real, right? On both sides. Some of that was Latinos who were not, not polled accurately because they do the polls in English. So the early voting numbers were real, that she did have the advantage in Nevada. In Nevada, we have no idea what's going to happen with Nevada. And in Florida, it looked good in early voting. All that is real. It wasn't a mirage, and she could still win. But it was also real that people want to throw a brick through the establishment window, and the Democrats keep saying, no. Let's go with an establishment candidate. Let's go with Evan Bayh. Let's go with Patrick Murphy. Oh, by the way, they're 6 feet under. They're done. They lost already. They lost miserably. Because all your stupid corporatists, you know what they're doing? Look, here, I'm with Jimmy. I'm against Jimmy and I'm with Jimmy. I'm going to get to you in a second because we might have Trump as president, and then we'll see if you were right or wrong on whether it made a difference, okay? But the part I'm with Jimmy is now you've turned the Democratic Party into the establishment party. You've got a populist, but not in the Democratic Party. You've got him in the Republican Party. Now, he's a fake populist. I know that, right? But people want a populist. They want a populist. When is it going to get you through your fucking skull? But instead, we've got Evan Bayh, we've got Patrick Murphy, we've got Hillary Clinton. And they were so goddamn convinced that the American people like the status quo. Well, guess what? Newsflash, they don't fucking like it.
Yeah, there's a huge disconnect between the establishment and the electorate. They have no idea what the electorate actually wants. I can't even believe how this is going so far. And this is why I don't obsess about the polls. Yes, they're relevant. Yes, they're interesting to you guys. But I never look at the polls and think, oh, you know what, Hillary has a comfortable lead according to all of these polls put together and analyzed together. It doesn't mean anything. Okay,
It means something.
It means something, but it's not the end all be all. People get comfortable. I think the establishment gets comfortable. They look at Nate Silver and they think, oh yeah, Nate Silver's got it going on. He knows what he's talking about. But there are issues with the methodology, as Cenk perfectly pointed out right now. You can't get comfortable. I am scared to death right now.
Yeah, and by the way, Nate was more right than the others, and then they mocked him. They mocked him for saying that Trump had a 35% chance of winning 2 days before the election. He lowered that number the day before the election based on polling. I said, hey, and no one criticized Nate Silver more than I did in the primaries. Ben and I got into big fights over Nate Silver in the primaries, okay? But he was right in the general election, okay? In fact, apparently not sounding the bell enough, right? Yeah. And all the cutesy guys in Washington were like, oh, Nate Silver, I do declare. None of my friends agree with Nate Silver.
There was a Politico article, was like yesterday, was I think it was Politico, forgive me if I'm wrong, forget Nate Silver, the new guru is Sam Wang from the Princeton Election Consortium, who had it at, 97%.
Yeah, just because you like that result. So guess who's not the new fucking guru? Sam goddamn Wang. Sorry, Sam Wang, I don't know you from Adam, and it's not your fault, okay? But I do declare, the guy who we really, he's the one showing us the numbers we like. That's the new guru.
Okay,
no.
let's have a couple.
By the way, as we were talking, 54% chance that Donald Trump wins. It moved while we were talking. It just moved again.
Maybe we should stop talking.
55% chance Donald Trump is going to win right now.
Stop saying the number.
Really
you madman.
So now that said, I have numbers which struck me as fairly encouraging. First of all, there are a lot of votes left in Charlotte, North Carolina, where Hillary Clinton has a 113,000 vote lead with only a quarter counted. That's a lot of votes that she could pile on if those numbers came in at the same rate, which would take a lead in North Carolina. Virginia,
that's very close.
Virginia has unquestionably, those votes have come in and has gotten close. Virginia, the lead is now 24,000.6. So
let me be clear about that. Virginia is super, super, super important. For you, for those of you who follow the percentages better than the raw numbers like me, the percentage is down to just 0.6. So that's the first encouraging thing I've heard in a long, long time.
Just a fun little
47.8 to 47.1, with Gary Johnson taking 3%, 89% reporting. 11% reporting is still unreported. Is still a big number now, with only 0.6 points between them.
And just for interesting, because people are saying we're not mentioning the other candidates enough, and it'll change. It'll change. It's fun, but Donald Trump is up about a little bit less than 24,000 over Hillary Clinton. Jill Stein's at 23,300.
There you go. We mentioned Jill Stein.
It's all in good fun. It's just a few.
Well,
future
it's not
country.
fun
Not gonna be good fun in
if
a
Trump
second.
wins.
So like, suppose she pulled, as a gambler, Mark will certainly understand this, and Cenk, like, you look at Virginia and we think, okay, now she's narrowed this. There's still 10% out. She's been narrowing. Maybe she's going to win Virginia by 25,000 votes, right? Which would be great. We'll all rest a little easy because that's part of her firewall. But then you instantly go up to Michigan and you see, well, they've 15% in and Donald Trump is up by 50,000 votes. I'm going to guess they haven't counted Detroit yet, and a lot of Detroit, and that she's got a lot of votes there. But Michigan was the state I was most worried about.
Oakland County's half in.
Much more
Wayne
so
County's not.
than Virginia or Florida I thought Trump would win. So like you get, okay, we won Virginia, but it's like, and then we got to win Wisconsin, and he's behind in Minnesota. It's like a 4-team parlay now, and they reflect each other. They don't happen in a vacuum. If support for Trump is greater in Virginia, she's going to run into the same problems. We start counting Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. It's just to win all of those, just to maintain the firewall, to let us get to Colorado and Nevada and hope, and New Hampshire too, which is also losing. So there are 5 things that can go wrong now, and we're trying to turn Virginia first so we can take a breath.
Okay, the chance of Trump winning the presidency, according to the New York Times, is now 58%.
58%.
Okay, I'm going to give you.
We did it 100,000. That's
Yeah. So the only good news is, I guess, for us, and I don't mean Trump winning and all that nonsense theories about how if Donald Trump wins, then you guys will get more viewers. No, we get more viewers no matter what happens. Okay, I don't need goddamn Donald Trump to win. But yes, good news for tonight for us. We just passed 100,000 viewers concurrently, and so there's some confetti. Okay. Well, that might be our only chance of confetti tonight. So yes, 100 of you that shared the stream will get these Young Turks hats, and much more importantly, bless your hearts, man. We really appreciate it, and still keep sharing, keep going. Okay. So share on Facebook, retweet on Twitter, and on YouTube. There's a share button. Send it out on Facebook, Twitter, and embed it in your blog. Send it to your family, because this election, you know us, man. We never BS you. If it was a cakewalk, we tell you it's a cakewalk. A lot of the guys on TV are like, oh, anything can happen. No. And in the morning, we came in, told you, Hillary Clinton's up in the polls, up 4 points nationally. It looks good. Now, it doesn't look good. And it is definitely not over on either side. She's closing in Virginia, only down 0.6, okay?
0.5.
And now 0.5 with 90%
16,000 votes.
See, she can, look, and then what might happen, by the way, this is a perfectly plausible scenario. She pulls out Virginia and Florida. Now, it's possible, right? And then she wins with over 300 electoral votes, and everybody goes, it was just nothing. It was just, we knew it all along. We knew she was going to win easy, right? Well, and then I'm going to want to strangle them, because even if she pulls those out and goes over 300 electoral votes, this was not easy.
Right, it's not.
Yeah. But also, I projected on my map that she would win Florida, because I thought it was 50-50 and her ground game would take her over. It was never she's 90% to take Florida. It's she's 51% to take Florida.
Yeah,
there's nothing easy about that. It's just an expectation that at the end it's slightly better than 50-50.
12,000 votes in Virginia.
Okay,
so the
that's
narrowing
good
is
news.
happening.
That's good news. That's good news. Let me give you bad news. Okay,
you dick.
Okay, Republicans controlling the Senate. We were told, oh no, Democrats are going to win the Senate. Now, 83% likely that the Republicans keep the Senate. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the Democratic Party is totally fucking incompetent. So they think, oh, okay, I'll fly the corporate flag. I'll fly the establishment flag. And they think that's a winning strategy. I got news for you. You can disagree with Jimmy and Steve and everybody else on who to vote for, third party or not. But they are right. We've been right at the Young Turks all along. Being the establishment party is a miserable losing strategy. So
for now, but maybe in 2020.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, early on in our election coverage, Brian Unger was in studio, and he was talking about how this election represents disruption in every way, shape, and form, when it comes to politics, when it comes to the media. And if this doesn't disrupt establishment politicians and make them realize that people hate you so much that they're willing to elect an openly racist bigot like Donald Trump, I don't know if there's any hope for you if you don't get it through your head.
Okay, let me put it another way. So why have we been right at the Young Turks, generally speaking, about how much people hate the establishment? Because we're fucking smarter than other people? No, because we can actually look at numbers with a clear eye. So when Congress's approval rating fluctuates between 7 to 13%. So when they get up to 13%, they're like, yes, we're peaking, okay? They get down to 9% on a regular basis. That means the country does not like standard politicians. The country does not like the establishment. And the Democratic Party, in their infinite stupidity, are like, oh, I got it. Congress is despised. Give you a sense, a third of the people in the colonies wanted to stay with King George, wanted to be part of the British Republic. A third weren't sure, only a third wanted to revolt, okay? Yeah. The English king was infinitely more popular than our current Congress, and the Democratic establishment thought, hey, let's keep going in the status quo direction.
Yeah, Trump's now at 59%, by the way.
Really, I mean, look, anything could change, but really fast. This is from Virginia.gov. She's up by 0.15% in Virginia.
Okay, so that's great because that keeps the firewall alive. But here's what's not going to happen.
Well,
Florida, the votes aren't there. The numbers aren't there. You can't do it, John. There's no.
No, I know. Like I said, the percentage of reporting for Broward kept going up, but the votes weren't going up.
So I think
it's
Florida
still got 25%, but
I got you.
she's not going to catch up.
But she's behind by. She's down 140,000 votes. I don't see 140,000 votes there in South Florida.
No, there's still
everything
like
else
40 counties in Palm Beach.
I got you. But we look at those numbers. She's up by 100 and she's up by 95,000.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay, guys. So let's talk about the good news for a second, okay? Because Florida is now 95% plus early voting reporting. That's what Ben means. There are not enough numbers, and he has. I show a 1 point lead. You can show it.
It's a 1.5. He's up by
1.5.
140,000 votes.
Yeah. So she could make some sort of comment, but likely not. Okay. So, but the good news is if she takes the lead in Virginia, which she's now headed in that direction with 90% reporting. Well, we're back to Virginia, Pennsylvania, Colorado. Oh, we barely made it. Okay. Okay. But if she takes Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Colorado, she still needs New Hampshire or Nevada. She needs one of those.
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, don't think we sweated Virginia. We're gonna frickin' sweat Michigan. We're gonna sweat Michigan.
Can't you wait until we sweat it?
No, because I mean, yes, of course, I know what you're saying, and I got it. But we talked about it this weekend. Like Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama. I think I'm correct, and Joe Biden. I think all 5 of them went to Michigan in the last 4 days. Like they all went. They knew.
Okay, I'm calling Ohio. So nobody else has called it yet. I'm calling it. It's a 10-point lead with 51% reporting, 53-43 for Trump. Trump's going to win Ohio. So Ohio is now gone. Okay? So that's, okay, don't panic over that. He was supposed to win Ohio. He wasn't supposed to win it by 10. So that you should panic.
He probably won't win it by 10.
Probably, but the fact that he's got a 10-point lead with 51% reporting. Okay, here, that's another thing. If you told me, hey, Cenk, it's 9:51 Eastern, Trump is winning by 10 points in Ohio with 51% reporting, I would have said, ah! Okay, not because you're going to lose Ohio. You expect to lose Ohio, but not good numbers if you want to hang on to Pennsylvania, Michigan, and the states around there. So, look, we haven't talked about Pennsylvania in a long, long time because we think the numbers are so incomplete. But, we need something encouraging. So she's got a giant lead right now in Pennsylvania, 57-40, with only 26% reporting, okay? So that is not going to hold. She's not going to win by 17. But good, with 26% reporting, a 17-point lead.
And Philly isn't particularly in yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It looks like less than 10% of Philadelphia is
There's a lot of, also, I just want to, there's some Trump counties also here, but there are a lot of votes in North Carolina left. A lot of votes in North Carolina, and in some of them in places that are very good for the good guys. and some of them for Trump, but his are more spread out over smaller places where there's still some precincts left to report. But 53 precincts out of nearly 200 out of 195 in Mecklenburg County. That's where Charlotte is. So in about 30% have been counted so far, right? In fact, right around there, 30% counted so far in Mecklenburg County. She's already ahead by 113,000 votes, and there's 70% still to count in the county. That's a lot of votes, and there's some other areas too around Greensboro, Fayetteville, where there's some votes left too. So I don't think North Carolina is. Is done either.
Okay, but he does have a 2.4% lead in North Carolina with 55% reporting. Okay, we've got to take a quick 2-minute break here, but 95% in Florida, he's got a 1.5-point lead. 90% in Virginia, and it's about tied. North Carolina, he's got a 2.4% lead. New Hampshire, he's got a 1% lead.
She's got a 0.22% lead.
Where are you looking at Virginia?
I'm at results.elections.virginia.gov.
And they have higher numbers? Their totals are bigger?
89.76%.
And as we go to the break here, New York Times has the chance of Donald Trump winning the presidency at 59%. 59%.
What happened in this country?
We'll be. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more information.
I'm Jimmy McMillan.